Join us on the last bus home.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was. I mean, my finger was already up there by the time they walked in.
No way. I hate when that happens.
What can you do, mate? What can you do?
So, why are we here?
We are here today to look into some paranormal disappearances. Now, I say paranormal disappearances, could be mysterious disappearances, but I've tried to make it majority weird. Okay?
Okay.
So let's explore some paranormal disappearances. So by this, I mean those defying your conventional explanations, like weather, accidents, maybe a few Darwin Awards. They seem to cluster in certain hotspots, often tied to things like folklore, a few portals thrown in there for good measure.
Magician's stage.
Exactly. My favourite, some anomalies, magnetic, or whatever they want to be. So just various parts of the earth where this stuff seems to happen a lot. Entities also blamed. So again, all things cool and paranormal. So based on reported cases, we have a clear winner of where the most paranormal disappearances occurred. And it is the Alaska Triangle.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that bad boy, but
Yeah, isn't it? It's something like 3,000 indigenous women go missing a year or something like that up in the
What?
Triangle in the last 10 years.
That's wild. Well, over 20,000 vanishes since the 1970s to present day. So that's a hell of a lot. Think of that. 20,000 people have just gone with no explanation.
Apparently most of them are indigenous women who, sadly, they're just unprotected because they're just indigenous Alaska people, and no one really gives much of a toot.
Yeah, that's sad, man. That's sad.
But I've just took the edge off your episode, so thanks for listening.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So we'll have a little look into the Alaska Triangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a few locations where we seem to have disappearance hotspots. So Alaska Triangle, as I mentioned, over 20,000 since the 1970s, an average of 2,250 a year, which is crazy. 16,000 since 1988 alone. Many leaving with just no trace. So this place is 440,000 square miles, and it's pretty much, from what I could gather, just rugged wilderness, like dense forests, glaciers, mountains. So I think it's popular with hikers, pilots, people just wanting a bit of like harsh terrain. So again, you could have a lot of people just kind of like falling to their deaths, but that's a hell of a lot of people. Some notable cases within the Alaska Triangle. So 1972, a Cessna 310 carrying US House Majority Leader Hale Boggs and Representative Nick Beat vanishes. Massive hunt for it, 40 aircraft, 50 vessels, none of them could find any wreckage, so complete disappearance. Another one from the 1950, a military transport plane with 44 aboard disappears near Anchorage. Again, no debris, despite complete clear weather. And again, another complete disappearance. 1990, another Cessna 340 with 4 passengers, again, gone, no distress call, no nothing. So around this place seems to be a lot of planes. And again, we'll get into some theories about why this happens. A lot of people might just put this down to just adverse weather, but I think all these things are looked into. What can you say? So a few theories around this place. Native Alaskan folklore blames hairy men, Bigfoot-like creatures, or shape-shifting spirits. So you've got kind of like Skinwalker vibes.
I think that's a bit unfair. You can't just refer to hairy men and assume they're Bigfoots, big feet, because
Hey,
that's offensive.
I guess, but this is what the native...
I'm a hairy man. You're a hairy man. And my feet are quite average for my height.
Hey, we can't argue with the natives, mate. if they want to call the Bigfoot hairy men, do so.
Fair enough. But I don't have to like it.
And yeah, as I mentioned, shape-shifting spirits. So you got the Skinwalker vibes in there. So kind of cool, but they think they're crashing all these planes and nicking the people. For what? We have no idea.
So what are Navajo skinwalkers doing up in Alaska? Shouldn't they be down in Arizona, where it's warmer?
Yeah, I guess. Maybe, well, no, not necessarily. Maybe skinwalkers, national folk. And
No.
tribe whores.
Okay.
Who knows? So, modern ideas and theories include electromagnetic vortices disrupting compasses, just like the Bermuda Triangle. UFO abductions have been thrown in there. A lot of lights and orbs have been witnessed. Portals to other dimensions, which I'm a big fan of. I like myself a portal. Time slips, all your weird kind of shit that goes on in a paranormal hotspot, which we have also covered on an earlier episode, so check that out. Moving on, probably the daddy of all disappearance spots is the Bermuda Triangle. So many will know about this. 50 plus ships, 20 plus aircraft, officially 1918 to present, all gone. We kind of know about this, don't we? I mean, it's just a very stormy patch of the sea. I think there's a lot of anomalies there as far as like electromagnetic vibes, because that would explain compasses going whack.
Well, whenever you watch a film about a big storm, or you see footage of big storms hitting America, they generally start their build-up in the Gulf of Mexico, or as old Donny T likes to call it, the Gulf of America. But yeah, that's where they stir up. So weather is pretty gnarly down there.
I think so, and I think ultimately there's something just going on with the location of it. Like, say it's, who knows, ley lines, magnetic bits of the earth. I don't know, man. It's too late for science. Midweek, what can you do? But this place is 500,000 square miles. It's a busy shipping lane, so, it gets a lot of go through, so it must be a busy area, and if it's a busy area...
Stuff not disappearing.
This is it. What can you do? A lot of notable cases is things we've probably all heard about before. 1945, Flight 19, 5 Navy Avengers with 14 crew lose the bearings. And I'm going to be honest, mate, most of the stories I looked into about Bermuda Triangle are pilots losing their bearings. So what can you do? Stop losing your bearings.
Well, this is it. Keep them in a bag.
Exactly. I do. I keep them in a bum bag.
I keep a little bag twixt my legs.
Detachable. For when you want to game of marbles with the boys.
Yeah. For when I'm going on a night out, I leave them at home in case I lose them.
This is it.
I'm not leaving them in a pub or out.
Imagine going back in to ask for them.
Let's get people step on them and then kick them and flick them. I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah, let's not go there. One of nature's cruel jokes, putting them bad boys on the outside. Anyway, some of the theories behind El Bermuda, Atlantis seems to pop up a lot. Now, I'm a big believer in Atlantis, but I'm telling you now, it was not in the Bermuda Triangle, okay?
No.
A lot of UFOs.
I think it's in the middle of the Sahara.
I think it is. I think it's in the recharge structure, which is that big eye that you see on Google Earth when you zoom in. But anyway, digress. As I said, a lot of theories around this are pretty much similar to the Alaskan Triangle, where it's just UFOs, portals, time slips, sea monsters, Kraken sightings, all the usual. So I won't dwell too much on the Bermuda.
In the Bermuda Triangle, it's not that deep though, is it?
Not really too sure. I didn't really get the deepness of it. Well, I'm guessing it's deep enough, mate, to probably hide crafts and to hide some, probably a very large UFO is down there, would be the logical explanation to all this. But moving on. US national parks in general, mate, seem to be pretty bad for disappearances. Now, again, obviously rugged wilderness. We're talking lots of canyons, caves, forests. People are going to go missing. But 1,000 are reported missing annually across all the parks, 63 in total. 2018 to 2023, 1,000 people. And this is missing as in nobody was ever found. So, not the best. Grand Canyon alone, 1,000 plus historical. 56 missing, 6 dead. Yosemite, 775 since 1890. 140 of them gone unsolved. So,
What do you mean, like when you say missing, they've gone for a walk and not come back, or have they gone and lost themselves, or
who knows?
Just vanished.
Yes, mate. That's the thing. Just vanished, gone without a trace. So these places get a lot of visitors. 325 million visitors a year. Parts like Grand Canyon get 4.7 million alone. So they get a lot of people through. So you're going to get some divs, not divs, but you're going to get some divs who just want to go out. Do you know what I mean? With no protection and stuff like that. And they're going to fall down a crack and know what they can do about it. That's on them.
Some of them, I'm pretty sure, must stumble across the odd illegal farming, illegal agriculture areas.
Yeah, 100%. And then cartel aren't going to like that.
They're not keen on trespassers or tourists, to be fair.
Hell no.
At all.
That's their right. So, moving on from that bad boy, we have got the Devil's Triangle. Don't know if you've ever heard of this. This is in Japan, in Guam.
Oh. Guam, that was a pretty violent place to be in the Second World War.
Well, we do have some reports of military vehicles getting lost. So 5 military vessels with 700 crew have disappeared between 1952 and 1954, so just within that 2-year period.
Well, they're not just shot down.
Well, this is it. I mean, you have to look at the dates. Wasn't exactly a great time for military vessels to be going around. But we'll go into some cases.
Just like 10 years ago, they found a fella who was still fighting in a cave in the war. A Japanese fella. About, was it 5-10 years ago they found him?
I think I heard something about that.
Still dug in. Like a madman, lunatic.
That's wild. Imagine that.
He must have been very disciplined with his rations.
Must have been. Not me. I'd be eating all them cakes on day one, maybe. That's how I roll. So this place, Devil's Triangle, very small compared to the last two we just went through. 700-mile patch, pretty much.
That's still pretty big for a triangle.
Yeah, true. So as I mentioned, in 1952, a research vessel with 31 crew sent to probe, just gone without a trace. Wreck was later found, but it was completely empty. Now again, bodies could have been swept away or whatever, but I'm sure these things are looked into. Kublai Khan's invasion fleet, 4,000 ships, destroyed by divine wind, but some of the survivors reported swallowed by sea dragons, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, could have just been mashed by a bunch of whales.
So what, they're blaming that
sea dragons.
Sea dragons. Vikings.
Sea dragons. This is it. Well, again, a lot of the theories around it was same as before, electromagnetic anomalies, and folklore was kind of blamed for the sea dragons because, it's Japan. Sea dragons are pretty common within their
sea
folklore.
Dragons, electromagnetic power. That's Godzilla.
Hey, movies don't make themselves. Everything comes from somewhere.
Godzilla's rooted in truth. Godzilla brought down Kublai Khan.
This is it. Maybe Godzilla's responsible for a lot of disappearances. I'm not sure.
Film I'd watch. It's a film I'd watch.
There you go.
Twice.
I'd rather blame these disappearances on Bigfoot, to be honest. I don't know. I think Bigfoot's losing the PR war. He needs to come back a bit more.
A water Bigfoot. That's what we need.
Well, if he says, look, I'm responsible for all these disappearances, people are going to be like, All right, we need to listen to the hairy man.
If he sent a video to Al Jazeera from his cave saying it was all me,
Yeah,
wow, I'd take it.
there you go. I bet it'd be on GB News.
Or Live Leak.
One of the last hotspots I'd like to look at is the Bennington Triangle. Pretty famous one. I'm sure you've heard of it. USA, Vermont.
No.
Ah, okay. So we've got 5 major cases in this one in a 5-year period. 20 total since 1800s, plus a lot of livestock mutilation. So this 10-mile Green Mountain area, once a Shaker settlement, saw a cluster post-World War II.
Shaker.
So
They're religious people.
yeah, I think that's kind of what I could gather.
Shaker. Are they anything like Quakers?
Maybe the
movement.
Shakers and the Quakers kind of are at war with each other.
It's a similar movement, though. If you were doing it,
it is to shake and quake.
Shake is a bit bigger than a quake, but definitely similarities in the dance.
True. Hey, when you're throwing bake, all hell breaks loose. What can you do? So yeah, dense fog is quite common to this place. So could be to blame for a lot of stuff. In 1945, 74-year-old Midi Rivers vanishes mid-hike. Party hears a voice but finds nothing. Then there's a few other sort of disappearances. A few cases of sort of singular people disappearing. The local Abenaki legends of Stone Man, a cannibal spirit, or cursed land from the 1700 witch hunts. This is a theory, by the way, of what's going on here. Again, the mentions of portals. And do you know what? Bigfoot comes back. Seems a lot of people blame wilderness disappearances on old Bigfoot.
He gets a
I think
rap.
you're just scapegoating him.
I do too. I don't think he's a bad guy. Some of them will be, but
yeah.
I think the boss of them isn't. Like Harry, he's not. But I reckon,
what are you going to do with all these people? Do you know what I mean? Big fan got time for that.
He's making a choir.
I'm not so sure, mate. Not so sure on that.
Maybe he's building an army.
Maybe. Shit army, bunch of like hikers eating granola bars.
No, right, imagine this, okay? You go out into the woods and you form you start out as just a militia, and then you get bigger and bigger. And then what you do, you make friends with the Bigfoots. So then your vehicles of marching into war, you're on each soldier is sat on the shoulders of a Bigfoot. And then they run across the prairies to attack whatever town. And it's just a big herd of Bigfoots with guys with guns sat on their shoulders. How cool is that?
That's cool. I like that idea. I like the theory of humans and Bigfoots coming together for a common enemy.
To fight against like other people. I haven't decided who they're fighting yet, but they're definitely going to fight skinwalkers.
Yeah. It'd be a holy war.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, bud, moving on from locations, I'm going to go through some stories of more the personal things of a few disappearances. I'm just going to go over a few of those, and I'm going to maybe move on to the famous missing 411.
Ooh, Mr. Polides.
This is it. Oh, I'm glad you said his name, because I couldn't work out how to say that.
That's just how I think I remember Mike and Matteo from the Whatcast pronouncing it in such a way. I could be wrong.
Nice. So you might have heard of this one, because I think it's been sort of dramatised a little bit. I have to say this right. So the Lost Colony of Roanoke.
Oh, love that story. I thought I didn't have hopes for that being a bus trip of its own, but
hey, do you know what? It could be. I'll just go over the brief elements, because we've got a few.
It's a good mystery. I like it.
Yeah, I dig it. But 1587, Roanoke Island, North Carolina, USA. It's a bit of an overview. So in 1587, English explorer Sir Walter Raleigh sponsored a group of 117 settlers consisting of men, women, children. And this was to establish England's first permanent New World colony on Roanoke Island. Led by a dude called John White, the group included White's pregnant daughter, Eleanor Dare, and her husband, Aeneas. White returned to England for supplies, delayed by the Anglo-Spanish War until 1590. So upon arrival, White found the settlement abandoned. Houses were dismantled, suggesting kind of an orderly move. So something was sort of done with care, but no bodies or signs of violence existed. The only clues were the word Croatoan. So I'm going with Croatoan? Croatoan?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out.
Let me have a look.
So this was carved into a palisade and CRO was etched on every nearby tree. So very...
Croatoan.
Yeah, Croatoan. Cool. Well, this referenced the nearby Native American tribe and island, but no distress signals like a cross or anything that sort of would signal trouble. So investigations into this. So searches of Croatoan, now Hatteras Island, yielded nothing. No definite traces of skeletons, artifacts, basically anything. Modern DNA efforts linking potential Native American descendants to European ancestry. People, I think, have been checked, but really, it still remains a mystery.
Remember they built a boat into Croatia?
Hey, who knows, mate? Who knows?
Not me.
But a few of the theories behind it. So, beyond assimilation with the Croatoan tribe or starvation, supernatural explanations, including a curse, could have come from this. So, an angry tribe not liking what was happening. So, throw the old curse on there. That could lead to hauntings, all kinds of business. So,
you can't just throw curses around willy-nilly, though.
This is it. That's why you should always, be careful with your curses. Again, we're going down a portal route. I think there's a few UFOs sort of linked into it, but I think that's just stuff that anyone will pepper in. Who knows what happened to these guys?
Yeah. There's a mystery. Throwing a UFO.
Yeah, exactly. Or a Bigfoot. Well, this one, I actually come up with too many Bigfoots, but wouldn't mind going there. There's like ghost tours and all sorts of stuff that I could kind of see what they do. But yeah,
there's some frogmen with their wands.
Well, mate,
it was an island. There's more water there, so it could be a frogman or them street crocs.
Yeah, gang of street crocs. Check out them Roanokes. Hell yeah. So, next up, the Flannan Isles Lighthouse Keepers. Don't know if you heard of this.
I have.
Cool, man. Well, December 1900 in Scotland, the remote Flannan Isles Lighthouse, built in 1899 on storm-battered Eileen Moor, which is 17 miles off Lewis. This was manned by 3 keepers, dude called Principal James Ducat, 43, Second Assistant Thomas Marshall, 28, and occasional Donald MacArthur, 40, substituting for a sick colleague. The 75-foot tower guided ships through what I could see was pretty treacherous waters. So, again, dangerous place. So on December the 15th, a passing steamer noted the light extinguished during a gale. Routine relief ship arrived December 26 amid 40-foot waves. No flag flew. The keepers didn't respond to horns or flares, anything. Inside, the clock had stopped at 1 a.m. A half-eaten meal was on the table. Chairs were overturned. Beds were unmade, except MacArthur's, as he was on night duty, so he'd not actually slept in it. Log entries describing worsening weather and severe winds, but the final one read, "God is over all," outside. West landing ropes were missing, snapped 100 feet up, as if from like a massive wave, but no bodies were ever washed ashore. So the investigation into it, Superintendent Robert Moorhead found no foul play, but noted the men's oilskins were dry inside, suggesting they left without the coats if they did vanish outside. The official verdict is that they were just swept away. Maybe got a bit drunk, went outside, done. Do you know what I mean? But
pee off a rock.
yeah. Again, they might have just been a bit disgruntled, wrote something weird in the old book. That's what you're doing it.
Is this the case where this happens in any story about a lighthouse, so I might be wrong in this case, but didn't the logbook have some about someone was getting really angry all the time? One of them, someone's mental state being commented on in the logbook.
Maybe. I didn't go too far into it, but sort of resembles the movie Lighthouse. I thought that was quite good. You ever seen it?
Is that where Willem Dafoe's dragging himself around the bulb at the top?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, a scene that didn't really need to be in the film. Yeah,
good film.
His plank up in the lighthouse, wasn't he?
But yeah,
I did watch that for some reason.
I'm guessing that will be a common theme in Lighthouse. Is you've got two dudes working really hard, sleep deprived, drunk probably a lot of the time. Tensions are going to flare. I'm surprised there isn't more Lighthouse murders.
That's it. One cheating at dominoes, and that's it. Table flipped.
Done.
There's another good one, actually, which is more in keeping with The Last Bus Home. It's called, I think, Grey Skin.
I've heard of that.
And it's Titus Pullo from Rome. Ray Stevenson is a lighthouse keeper, and he's got this new fella to come and train. And these mer people, basically, the Black Lagoon style creatures live there, and he's banging them and fighting them and doing all sorts. He's got some right relationship with them, but yeah, it's just like hundreds and hundreds of these like scaly, grey, flappy sea people.
Nice.
Yeah, it's called Grey Skin because they have grey skin, and that's really good. That's a Lighthouse film. It's better than watching Willem Dafoe drag himself around the light bulb.
I don't know. I've always got time for my boy Dafoe. Lighthouses in general are just a little bit messed up. I think they're scary.
If I could be rich, I'd live in I'd have to turn an old lighthouse into a home. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah, but I do it up good. I think most lighthouses are pretty grim inside.
But when you paint it to look like a big willy.
Yeah, I probably would. Anyway, mate, moving on. So, Lars Mitank's airport dash. And this was in 2014, Varna Airport, Bulgaria. So again, these disappearances are all across the globe. So German tourist Lars Mitank, only 28. He was a fitness enthusiast, vacationed in the Golden Sands with friends, and after a bar fight caused a ruptured eardrum, doctors advised grounding. So, stay on the ground. Alone at Varna Airport for his flight home, Mitank seemed normal until paranoia struck. So surveillance footage shows Mitank pacing, then panicking during a phone call to his mother. He said, 4 men are after me, they're trying to kill me, claiming attackers poisoned him. He bolted from a doctor's exam, sprinted through the terminal, scaled a massive fence, fled into a nearby woods, totally barefoot, didn't have his shoes, screaming. He vanished, and there's been no sightings ever since.
Yeah, the CCTV footage of him running through the airport. I've seen that on various YouTube compilations.
Man. Well,
I think it wasn't that just a drug deal gone wrong, maybe.
Well, the Bulgarian police searched pretty extensively. They found no threats, no drugs beyond alcohol. Mitank's mother received no further calls. Theories range from a psychotic breakdown, possibly Xanax withdrawal, so there was drugs involved, fight-induced trauma. Could be anything, but yeah, this guy just disappeared.
Yeah, I remember. I do remember the footage of him in his shorts and t-shirts sprinting through the airport. Pretty quick.
Well, in some of those videos, and again, I think it'll be your standard internet sleuths, maybe using a bit of trickery, but I don't know. But there's some where they seem to say there's shadowy figures in the blurry footage. what can you do? The shadow people came to take him away. I'm not too sure.
It's an
Gotta leave.
airport.
Hey, shadow people need to travel too.
Well, yeah, but it's an airport. There'll be various people, and there'll be various shadowy areas. So I don't know about shadowy people.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm still number one suspect for me is Bigfoot, and then we'll go sea monsters, and then we'll go shadow people.
So we'll have to go back and look at the footage and see how big the shadowy people are.
True.
Because you can't outrun Bigfoot.
No, never outrun Bigfoot.
That's just fact.
True.
I don't care how German or Bulgarian you are. You can't outrun Bigfoot, not even in fear.
No, mate. Don't do it.
Just saying.
So the most famous paranormal disappearance story of all, and I say most famous because it seems to be about the most work put into something like this, is the missing 411 411. Okay, so the missing 411 is a series of self-published books, documentaries, an investigation by, you said his name?
Dead.
David
Paulides.
Paulides, that's it. Man, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, Greek.
It does. Well, I'm going to call him David because he can't be asked. So there we go. So he's a former law enforcement officer and Bigfoot researcher. This guy knew his beans about Bigfoot. So probably the best guy to have on your side when looking for missing people. As we've mentioned, Bigfoot seems to be the main culprit. Get this dude in on it. Law enforcement as well. Might be a badass. Might be like Ralph Sarchie. Again, another one for the gang. Imagine if Ralph Sarchie teamed up with this dude and they're hunted supernatural. I'd be banging. Absolutely banging.
We need to put together a paranormal expendables team.
Yeah, this is it. We've got all the guys now.
No.
We've got villains. Do you know what I mean? Hans Assman. Could be a cool villain.
He'll be the arch nemesis. He's like the bad guy that they just never seem to be able to put down.
Yeah, he's the Doctor now. This is it. So, starting with the missing 411, eastern United States in 2011, the series documents hundreds of unexplained disappearances in national parks, forests, and remote wilderness areas. So this was one of the places we explored previously of just being just a high volume. I mean, it's no Alaska Triangle, but again, we're going to look into it. So there's clusters of disappearances, places like Yosemite National Park, the Great Smoky Mountains. Claims these incidents are underreported by the authorities, like the National Park Service, the NPS. So Paulides, he accuses this place of withholding data. So it's almost like he thinks there's a little bit of a conspiracy going on there. The cases often involve hikers, which obviously they are, considering the location, hunters, lots of kids, lots of elderly, suddenly vanishing with no tracks, scents, or logical traces, fueling speculation of paranormal. And again, a lot of conspiracy theories jumps in on it.
Well, some of them are like as far as like they'll walk around a tree and not come out the other side.
This is it.
And they've just gone. But this, this smacks of the Mirrored Men, where we have the genii, the three people walking, and time stopping where people lose time, and then that gets linked in with the fairy folk who take people, because there are stories like more Bigfoot stories of children being taken and then found again, and they say the big man took me, but they've only been gone for like, to them they've been like living with these creatures forever, but in real life they've reappeared like a week later, like 15 miles away or something.
Yeah, and this is it. I mean, logically to me as well, I don't know why we're throwing in all these beasts as explanations, because, you know, somebody is out where there's not too many other people, so they can be taken without being seen pretty easy. They get time losses, time stops, whatever it is. I think it's clearly interdimensional non-human intelligence just coming in, stealing us, doing the tests, doing the probing, and then maybe some of them just don't bother to drop us back. That makes more sense to me. And I think that also falls in with the mirrored men, shadow people,
Predator.
They're all the same, mate. It's those bloody NHIs doing experiments on us, and I'm bloody sick of it.
I think
You know what I mean?
What you need to do, Lee, is go out there to the woods and share a piece of your mind with them.
I think I need to form some sort of league, like an Earth defense league against these spirits, these non-human intelligence, these otherworld aliens. Because, do you know what? Stop probing my people. We've had enough. The Earth Defense League.
We can't let them operate unbound.
Exactly.
Where will it stop?
Sorry, mate. I've just thought about that. Earth Defense League, EDL, maybe not so good. I'll have to think about the rebranding on that one. Okay, we'll come back to that. I'm just trying to save humans, people. No more probing. Okay, anyway, I digress.
Not on.
So, this guy, this 411 guy, he does a lot of statistics. Specific to the points of when things start reoccurring, he starts noting it down. I guess looking for trends and things like that. He's actually got a full-on kind of like breakdown and graph. So I'm just going to go through a few of them. So he'll group together things like victim demographics. So children, especially aged between 2 to 4 years old, elderly hunters, berry pickers, or those with German ancestry. The frequency of that is 42.5%. Under 18, elderly, 81%, never found. And he just logs all these different things, trying to come up with some sort of, I don't know, I guess, some sort of like clue, but they're so specific.
Yeah, it sounds like he's trying to twist his findings to match his theories, rather than developing his theories around the facts.
This is it. I mean, it's very specific. Dogs fail to track scent, 81% of cases. Victims found in previously searched areas, 16%. Bad weather hits during search. All these like things which are like, I don't know, man, but hey, he's made an interesting case. So what he's trying to say is all these kind of profiles suggest like an intelligent factor, as random accidents wouldn't cluster so precisely. So this is his thinking behind it. However, 2017 Skeptical Inquiry investigation attributes them to selection bias, in which you've just cleverly put across. So I think there's a bit of skepticism behind it, but again, he's looking into this. Someone needs to. What I'm going to do...
I mean, the ex-law enforcement gives him some credibility. But then he doesn't do himself any favours by announcing he's also a Bigfoot researcher, which...
Yeah, just keep that on the down low.
Not everybody's willing to accept that as a credential.
Yeah. This is it. I think this is maybe where he falls. But again, not knocking the guy who's looking into these disappearances. Hopefully he can find some closure for some people. I'm not really too sure of his successes. But what I want to do, I won't delve too much into it, but I just want to go through a few cases. So Dennis Martin, June 14th, 1969, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. 6-year-old Dennis Lloyd Martin vanishes during Father's Day outing with his family and friends in the Spence Field area. This is a popular hiking spot. Goes up and down. So while playing a game of hide and seek, Dennis darted behind a bush to scare the adults 200 yards away. His father called for him seconds later, but he was gone. No cry, no rustle, no footprints. Your kid's just completely vanished in the soft soil. Who knows? But he won there. A massive 1,400 person search just rinsed this place. It ensued over 165 square miles, and it used dogs, choppers, infrared tech, all the latest business, but nothing. Dogs lost the scent immediately. A panther scream was heard nearby, but again, there was no sort of evidence that anything had been ravaged. But yeah, a lot of these kind of stories. Bessie and Glenn Hyde, November 15th to the 18th, back in 1928, and this was in the Grand Canyon National Park in Arizona. These guys were newlyweds, only 24 and 29. They attempted a record-breaking flatboat trip down the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon. On November the 15th, they departed from Green Springs cabin, and by the 18th, they hadn't reached their pickup, and this was at Diamond Creek. So rangers found their intact SCO floating downstream 5 miles later with supplies, rifles, and Bess's journal aboard. No bodies, no signs of capsizing. A month's search by boat and plane yielded nothing. Anomalies was the boat was undamaged. There was no distress signals. Bess's shoes found on the rim years later, 1949, suggesting survival. Who knows, but
Are they classed under the missing 411?
Yeah. All these, I've got quite a lot of examples, but it's probably something if you really want to go into it and research yourself, because a lot of the stories are the same. It's a hiker, or it's someone in a group, or it's someone in a camp. They've literally just walked off. And the main kind of sort of pattern that seems to be revolving around these is that somebody doesn't go too far. It's not like they're a lone traveler and they've gone off. There's a lot of people in groups, little kids, like I said, elderly people who aren't going to be going too far up the mountain. They just pop over there and then they're gone. And then there's no sign of anything around. There's no like scuffle, as it mentioned, no trees, no branches snapping, nothing like that. So the disappearances seem to be, they are quite weird. But yeah, so like I say, anybody who's sort of interested in the 411, I would urge them to look into it in a bit more detail, because there's lots of stuff there. A lot of the stories are the same sort of thing, but again, it's worth looking into and kind of questioning, and I suppose it's good that this dude sort of looks into it. So a lot of his theories, like I said, about everything that goes on, blames a lot of it on Bigfoot, Sasquatch abductions. I think his background pretty much influences that. My thing, interdimensional portals, as I said, big fan of those. Portals seem to be pretty across the disappearance map. A lot of people blame stuff on portals. Again, bit of a scapegoat, portals and Bigfoot. I'm more into the fact of portals because I think there could just be locational anomalies, things like that. You never know. Skinwalkers are linked to portals. They could be coming out, going in. Who knows? So conspiratorial angles, the NPS, which is the National Park Services, or a government cover-up to hide the incompetence of these places, or, pretty cool, experiments. So our 411 guy, David, claims FOIA stonewalling clusters near military sites. So he's thinking there's maybe some dodgy military stuff going on. Serial killer networks who exploit the parks for their own gain. I don't think serial killers are that organised, so I'm calling bullshit on that one.
Yeah, I think having a network of serial killers is just begging to be caught.
What do they do? Have meetups every month?
Dark web chat rooms.
Yeah, meet up at the local pub.
They're furries. They're not serial killers.
This is it. We go down a darker side, similar sort of thing. I won't put it past because we know it happens, but trafficking rings. I'm not sure people are nicking grannies to be trafficked into wherever they're going to be trafficked. No one really knows grannies. That. I don't know, man.
They could get trafficked to other places where people can't knit.
Maybe.
And
Who
they're
knows?
just forced to knit for the rest of their lives in a rocking chair, chained into a rocking chair, and they just knit.
Ooh, what a dark time.
Yeah, knit, and that's it.
Not how they wanted to spend their retirement, but anyway. Yeah, trafficking rings, the dark side of humans, unfortunately. Some even tie these disappearances to an MK Ultra style mind control experiment.
Okay.
For whatever reason. I don't know. I'm going to drug you and then you're going to get lost.
Yeah, what does it have to do with going missing?
You got to throw it in, mate. You got to throw in a portal.
6-year-old.
You got to throw in a government experiment. You got to throw in a Bigfoot.
But come on.
Now, a lot of the skeptics would put all these kind of things just down to basic shit, hypothermia. Maybe people are just dying. Again, I would say, where are the bodies? but people might fall into unseen crevices. A lot of people say suicides and staged kind of like disappearances to say, you know, this person want to die, but they don't want to come out as a suicide, so they'll just find a place to go missing. Again, it still doesn't really count for the numbers, but I'm sure there's a few of those in there. So you've got your sort of paranormal sides, you've got your things that might have happened, who knows? All I'm saying is, in the Alaskan Triangle alone, we've got an issue, we've got a problem. And I think, looking through this, America's got an issue. It's national parks. Come on, America, sort of shit out and stop your people being nicked and being probed or whatever, experiment.
Yeah. Wasn't Israel He's quite keen on his national parks?
This is it. Who knows, pal? Who knows? But I say bring them 20,000 back from Alaska. You know, release the 20,000. Where are they?
Maybe they're the army that's being built with the Bigfoots.
Who knows, pal? But we need to do something. So hopefully David sorts it out with his missing 411 business. That was a rundown of some paranormal disappearances. So what are your kind of thoughts? Are you calling BS? Are you thinking there's something behind it? Are you calling aliens, Sasquatch? What are you thinking?
I am not calling aliens. Nor am I calling BS on this, because people do go missing in the woods. But portals, I don't know, because I don't know how they
beef
work.
with portals?
I have no beef with portals, but
I think you just don't get portals.
Okay.
Sorry to be harsh, but
a bit rude.
I'm a bit of a portal aficionado, I'll have you know.
Yeah, no. So I'm more inclined to go with Bigfoot and Predator.
So, mate, looks like this is my stop.
I
will catch you on the next one.
Okay, don't get lost.
Try not to, mate. Ding, ding. Stay safe.